Hey everyone, welcome back to Jelly Solves. We are back on our most frequently solved puzzles that we have not solved yet. And our next one on the list is Lost. Um, this is my fifth puzzle, Lost, inspired by Chameleon's fantastic Lumos Maxima. It gives us some rules, it gives us a preview, and then we have our solution code down here. I've already got the puzzle opened up, so let's start the timer. And we can start solving. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so digits. Normal Sudoku rules is no row, column, or box can contain any repeated digits. Digits in cages must sum to the small number in the top left corner. There's the 4, for example. So whatever these two digits are, they must add to 4. Digits can't repeat within cages either. Digits on thermometers must increase from the bulb end. So there's a bulb down here. So that must be the lowest digit on that thermometer. They don't need to be consecutive. But, for example, we can't have like a 2 here and then a 3 here because the bulb is somewhere hidden underneath the fog. But these digits would not be increasing, so that would be invalid. The grid is covered in fog. There are 2 initial light sources, here and here, that illuminate the darkness and clear the fog. Put correct digits into cells to get more light. It's okay to put a digit into a cell that is covered by fog. Okay. So first thing that my eyes are drawn to is that 4 cage. There's only one possibility of digits that can sum to 4, and that's 1 and 3. That doesn't seem to be helping us much, so now we will kind of turn our attention down here to box number 8. 6 is an interesting 3-cell cage because it can only have one combination of numbers, and that's 1, 2, and 3. So what that does is it tells us in this 2-cell 9 cage, you can't have a 1, 2, or 3 in it. So that must be a 4 and a 5. And that tells us this 2-cell 13 cage can't have a 4 and a 5, so that must be a 6 and a 7. So in this whole cage, the only digits left are 8 and 9. And 9 couldn't go in a bulb, because then what would come after it? There's no digit higher than 9. So that is 8, and this one is 9. That makes the light source 9. We can solve this 2 cage 9 here by adding a 1. 1 and 8 equal 9. That takes the 1 out of this possibility. Now we have a 2-3 pair. So 2 or 3 couldn't go here. So now that is a 1. Just via process of elimination. Okay. So this bulb, it sees a 1. It also sees a 2 and a 3 in any order. So the lowest this could be is 4. If that's a 4, and we're going to go with minimum values, it would be 4, 5, 6, 7. And the thermometer might continue on. It could continue. Let's pretend that this cell... Let's pretend that it is the last... it's like the tip of the thermometer, right? Let's pretend it ends right here. It can't be a 9, but it could be 8, right? So at a maximum, it's 8. That would be 7, 6, 5 at a maximum. So minimum, this is 4. Maximum, it's 5. And this could continue on, maybe. So I'm gonna just get rid of that 8. But minimum, that's a 4. Maximum, that's a 5. So then this one becomes 5, 6. This one becomes 6, 7. This becomes 7, 8. And you could have another cell here or here that's like 8, 9, right? 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. And again, these don't have to be consecutive. They just need to increase. So you could go 4, 6, 7. Okay, but what we do know is that there's definitely a 6 here or here. That's not true. I shouldn't have said that. You do have a 6, 7 pair, is what I should have said. These two digits are 6 and 7 in any order. So looking up, this can't be a 6 anymore. So that one has to be 5. This one has to be 4. And it does kind of circle back around up. So now this one is 8 or 9. And to make 12, 4 would go with 8 or 3 would go with 9. And you already have a 4 in this box here. So that's a 3, that's a 9. That helps us with the 4 cage there. Okay, so we've revealed another thermometer. Nothing is immediately standing out to me. What digits are we missing in this row 5? We're missing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 8. This one can't be 3 or 4. Oh, and this box can't be... It can't contain a 2 because there's a 2 looking up at it. So this is the only position 2 could be in. So 2 comes out of all those, and 3 comes out because of this row looking over. This bulb can't be 8, because look at how many digits higher than 8 we would have to have, and it would be like 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, so that can't be 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's fine. If this was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's okay also. There's a 2 here, and that's looking up at this column. There's also not a 2 in this triple, this 3, 4, 8 triple. So one of these is 2, and this one can't be 2 because our digits need to increase, right? And this one's either a 3 or a 4. So that one can't be 2, definitely not. So this is the only place 2 can go. Okay, so in row, in row 4, we have digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We don't know which position, but we have them. And we have 9. So this one has to be a 6, 7, or an 8. And it can't be 8 because we still got too many digits to go on the thermometer, right? It would have to be 9, 10 plus. So that one's not 8. If it was 7, you would have 8, 9, 10 again. So it can't be 7 either. So that one's a 6. So that takes the 6 out of that. This box needs to equal 13. We're just doing some cleanup here, some process of elimination. Okay, so what 3 digits are missing from this box? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right, so this is a triple. This is a triple, and this is like an implied triple, right? 3, 4, and 8. Even though some cells can't have, can't have exactly certain digits. So if look at this 11 cage. We don't know if it's 2 cells or 3 cells or 4 cells. I mean, we don't really know how long it is. It just kind of extends into the fog. But if this one was if this digit was a 9, then this one would have to be 2, and it can't be. So this one can't be 9. Okay, here. All right, let's look at it this way. We have the digits 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. We don't have a 6 anywhere. We have 7, 8, and 9, right? 7, 9 there. So this is the only spot 6 can go. Another way we could have seen that is just looking at this box. What digit is missing? We're missing a 6 there. That's 6. So to fill in this thermometer, it has to be 7, 8, and 9. That's the only thing that makes sense there. So that's not 7, that's not 9 because of Sudoku looking over. 3 cell 7 cages are interesting because there's only one combination of digits that will equal 7 without repeating, and it's 1, 2, and 4. 1 eliminates that, 2 eliminates that. So we have 1, 2, 4. There's a 3, 7, 8, 9. So we need a 5 and a 6 up there. This 5, 6 pair, we don't know which position 5 and 6 are in, but we know it's there certainly. So that looks over at this 5 and removes it. So now that's a 7. We can sort of fill in that box a little better. So now we know that this 11 cage is 3 cells long. It has a 7 in it, and it has to equal 11. So we're missing 4, right? 7 plus 4 would equal 11. So it cannot be 8 because that would be too high. This one can't be a 4 because you'd have to put a 0 here, and you can't. So that's 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. That's 11. We're going to finish box number 2. We'll also get some digits in box 1. So row 1 is missing 8 and 9. This one is missing 2, 3, 5. And this row is missing 4, 6, 7. We can see there's a tip of a thermometer poking out here. And we know that wherever the thermometer starts and stops, the tip has to be the largest digit, right? So if the tip of the digit was 2, then the cell before it would have to be 1, and that's not the case. So that can't be 2. Same logic here. If this was 3, then the digit before it would have to be 2 or 1, and it's not. So it's not 3. So that's a 5. And 5 is only greater than, out of the possibilities here, it's only greater than 4. So we can do some cleanup. What now? This 14 cage, I'm sort of avoiding it because 14 has quite a few possibilities, I think. It could be 5 and 9. It could also be 6 and 8. Oh, okay. That's really not that... It's really not that many possibilities. Because this cell cannot be 6 or 8. Right, so if we just take away these pencil markings... we have a 5, 9 here. If it's 5, then this cell would have to be 9. If this one's 9, then this would have to be 5. This one can't be 9 because there's this guy looking at him. So that's a 5, that's a 9. I guess I could have done that a long time ago. Looking up at box 1, we have all those digits now. Back in box 8, we have some Sudoku to do. Okay, we're running a little bit out of clues. Because now we just have these little thermometer tips poking out. But we're not really sure like where they go or how big they are. You know, there's a lot of possibilities. I guess we do know that we could try to finish that row, or sorry, that column. We're missing 1, 2, 4, and 8. Doesn't help a whole lot. All that tells us is that there's definitely a 1 here somewhere, because 1 can't go here and 1 can't go there. So one of those cells is a 1. I want to make this easy on myself and see if there's something else I'm missing, but I think maybe we need to look at these thermometers. The maximum value this tip could be, let's just look at all the possibilities, right? It can't be 9, 8, or 7. It could be 6. 5 is looking down at it, so it can't be 5. It could be 4, 3, or 2. Which means the cell before it, because we know at least it comes here. Let's say this is a 6. This one would have to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Somewhere in that range. It's not 1 or 2 or 4 because of this 7 cage, right? So 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so the tip can't be 2 because it would have to be higher than 1, and it's not. Same with 3. 3 means that this would have to be a 2 or a 1. If this is 4, then that would be 3. If this is 6, this could be 3 or 5. What am I missing? I'm trying to avoid looking at these thermometers, but I guess we need to. So let's look at the maximum this could be. It can't be 9, 8. It could be 7, 6. It can't be 5, 4. It could be 2 or 3. If it's a 7, which is the maximum, then this one has to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can eliminate some of those, right? It can't be 1 or 2. It also can't be 4 or 5. So again, 2 and 3 could come out of this tip because it wouldn't be bigger than anything before it. Well, that doesn't really help all that much, does it? Alright, let's just see if there's normal Sudoku we could do. I like to start with the 1s and just sort of look at what cells they're looking at, right? So this 1 is looking down, this one's looking over. So there's a 1 there. There's also a 1 here somewhere. This one. Oh, we know there's a 1 here. So this one looks down, this one looks left. None of those can be 1. So here's a 1. Okay, now we know that these thermometers are just 2 cells, which we kind of assumed, so it doesn't really help us that much. Let's look at 2s. There's a 2 there. Okay, one of these is 2. This one's looking down at that column. These are already filled in and they can't be 2s. So the only cells left are these, in box 7 are these 2 here. So whichever one of these is a 2, it's going to look right at this cell, which can no longer be 2. So that's a 3, that's a 2. Now we've got an interesting little thermometer. Whoops. A little 3-cell guy, huh? Okay, so let's look at maximum values for the tip. Can't be 9, but it could be 8, 7, 6. Can't be 5, 4. It could be 3. It can't be 2 for a number of reasons, because it's a 3-cell thermometer, right? So if this was 2, this was 1, then that one had to be 0. If this one's 3, then this would be 2 and 1. And 1 looks over at those cells. So that one's not 3. So we have our tip range. But let's look at our bulb range. It can't be 1. It could be 2. Can't be 3. It could be 4. Can't be 5. Could be 6. If that's 2, then this cell, it can't be 3 because there's 1. It can't be 4 or 5. So that would be 6. Wait, does this have to be 6? No, it could be 7. Let's go back to just Sudoku shit, right? Oh, here we go. This 2, remember this 2 corner mark is looking over at all these other cells. So this one can't be 2 anymore. So you could have like 4, 6, or 7, and 8 at the top. Or you could have 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 6 can't go on the tip is what we've basically determined there. You could have 4, 6, or 4, 7. You could have 6, 7. And then the last 2 cells, you could have 6, 7, 6, 8, or 7, 8. So there's some possibilities still there that I'm not so sure about. Okay, let's do 3s. That one looks over, that one looks down. Okay, we know there's a 3 in this pair somewhere. Right, here's our 3s. This one looks left. This one looks down. That's a 1. That's a 6, 7. So there's a 3 somewhere here. So that means this bulb can't be 3. So that's a 5. And the 4 is not higher than 5, but 6 is. So that will resolve some stuff, including the thermometer we were just looking at. So that's an 8 now. So what are we missing in this row? 3, 6, and 1. And then in this row, we're missing 2, 4, and 3. Let's go back to Sudoku. Go back to our roots. Oh, there's a 4 here. This one looks left. This one looks down. Those are already filled in. So we pencil mark that there's a 2 somewhere here and there's a 4 somewhere here. So that becomes a pair now. A 2, 4 pair. So now this one can't be 4. We need to increase. We can do a little bit of Sudoku cleanup. So in row 9, we're missing 8 and 9, which is resolvable. 3, 6 is also resolvable. So column 1, we're missing 4 and 7 and 9, sorry. That is also given to us by Sudoku rules. Okay, box 9 is missing 2, 4, and 5. This one can't be 4 or 5 because of the thermometer above it. So we can start kind of cleaning stuff up. And the thing with these variant Sudoku puzzles is if you're pencil marking things along the way, once the puzzle breaks, the logic sort of starts solving itself. There starts to be all these things where there's only one possibility. This is a 3, 4. So this one's missing 1, 7. This one's missing 6, 8. This one's missing 2, 5. Yeah. So like I've pencil marked these, but just by Sudoku, they start sort of giving themselves up, right? The 7 is looking here, so that's a 1. So now that's got to be 7. That has to be 8. Has to be 6. So on and so forth, and eventually you just plug it in, and we've solved it. Yeah, boy. All right. Let's put in the code here. Column 1 and column 9. 412 975 368, and column 9 is 826 714 539. And if we did it right, then the solution code box goes away and it reveals sort of these red marked comments. So we've done it. That was the puzzle Lost. That's Redacted in the Corner by James Sinclair, which we will be doing a lot of James Sinclair puzzles. He has a weekly blog that he emails out his puzzles for free on artisanal Sudoku. So we'll be doing those. Fresh new puzzles every week. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so every row, column, and box cannot have any repeats, and they must contain the digits 1 to 9. The grid is covered with fog, except for 2 initial light sources. Those are the bulbs here. Digits also act as light sources, and when placed correctly, they illuminate the cells around them, quote-unquote, clearing the fog. Cages show their sums, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. Digits on arrows sum to the number in the connected circle and can repeat if allowed by other rules. Along green lines, digits must differ from their neighbors by at least 5. Digits in cells with a gray square must be even. Digits in cells separated by a black dot have a 1-to-2 ratio. I'll leave those leave the rules up so we can read them again as needed. But there's going to be a lot of different elements, is what I'm reading, which is good. So we'll get a lot of exposure to some different stuff, and we'll see how these elements like play off of each other. So of course, I'm drawn to this 6 cage. A cage with the sum of 6 under normal Sudoku rules. It can't be 4 cells long, because the minimum would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, which would sum to 10, right? So it's either 2 or 3 if you have a 6. This one is showing that it sort of runs off into the fog, so we know it's a 3-cell cage, and the only the only digits that sum to that are 1, 2, and 3. And if you remember our crop key dots, this means that digits are double. They have a 1-to-2 ratio. So 3 can't be contained in this domino here because it would need to be either 6 or 1.5, which it can't be. So that's now a 1-2 pair. So that means our 3 is here. Now we do have a 3 on a crop key dot. If you halved it, it would be 1.5, which is not a valid number, and then doubling it to 6 is correct. So we have an arrow here, which all the digits on an arrow are going to sum to whatever digit is circled. So let's pretend that, let me add my pen tool. Let's pretend like that's our circle, right? So 6 plus whatever this is going to sum to that. The lowest that this could be is 1, right? But this 1-2 pair is looking over at this cell. So now this one can't be 1. It can't be 2 even. So the lowest it could possibly be is 3. And 6 plus 3 is 9, which is your maximum Sudoku sum, right, for a single digit. So that is 3 and that is 9. Okay, it has not revealed any other clues. That's okay. So we'll turn our attention down here now to this sort of cluster of black crop key dots and a 14 Sudoku cage, killer cage. So 14 is either 9, 5, or 6, 8, right? The 5 can't be on a crop key dot because it would either be 10, which is too high, or it'd be 2.5, which is not valid, right? So 5 actually can't be in this cage because both of these are looking at crop key dot dominoes. And if 5 can't be in there, then 9 certainly can't be in there. So now we have a 6 and an 8 that are both connected to black crop keys. If it's 6, then these are 3. Right, that's the only digit that it can be paired up with. It can't be 12, but halved it could be 3. And for the same reason, 8 can only be paired with a 4, since we can't use 16 as a digit. Now, what's interesting here is that we have crop key dots back to back, right? So if this was 6, then this would be 3. This one would be forced to be 6 again. And since these are all in the same box and we can't have repeat digits, we can't let that happen. So that becomes an 8. That becomes a 4. We can't repeat anything, so we have to keep sort of having this number. So that's a 2 now. That 6 equals 14, and that 3 is the crop key. And in my first video, we kind of saw what this is entailing, like when we have like one arrow digit and one sum digit, is it's actually just telling us that these are the same digit, right? I'll refer to the rules very quickly. Digits and cells with a gray square must be even. Okay, so this is either 2, 4, 6, or 8. We'll just mark that so we remember it. We've pretty much used up the clues that are given to us, right? So now there's a couple things we can do. We can either try to fill in this box with the missing digits, or we can just look at standard Sudoku rules. We have a lot of 3s on the board. If we look over at, where these 3s are sort of eliminating possibilities from, this 3 looks up, this 3 looks up, this one looks right, this one looks right also. So this is the only square where 3 could actually live safely. Which reveals our green German whispers line. Which German whispers I think are a lot of fun. It takes a little bit of explanation, and I have my own sort of method for trying to follow them. The green German whisper line, each digit differs by at least 5 at a minimum, right? The first rule with the German whispers is that you can't have a 5 on the German whisper, because if you did have a 5, the digits on either side would have to be 0 and 10, or higher or lower, right? So you can never have a 5 on a German whisper. So when you have a long string of German whisper cells like this, what happens is you end up getting this alternating pattern where the digits alternate between lower than 5 and higher than 5. And I keep track of this by color coding. So I use blue for low digits, and then I use yellow for high digits. So this is a 3. If we were to add 5 at a minimum, right, it would be 8, or we could go higher. Well, the only other higher possibility is 9. And then I'll mark these yellow just to indicate that they are high digits, right? They're above 5 digits. And Sudoku sort of tells us which way this pair is going to go. This one's going to be 8, and this one's going to be 9. But now we know whatever digits come next are going to be low. And we know this one's high, and we know this one's low. And they're always just going to continue alternating between high and low. We're never actually hitting 5, right? So all the blue cells we can actually mark with 1, 2, 3, and 4, the digits that are lower than 5. And the yellow digits we can mark with what's higher than 5. We already used up 8 and 9 in box 3, so this one can't be 8 or 9. We've already used 3 and 4. Looks at that cell, so we'll just do like a little bit of cleanup, eliminate some possibilities there. 4 on a German whisper line and 6 on a German whisper line are interesting, right? So 4, if we add 5 to it, it's 9. And we can't go any higher than that. We also can't go any lower than that, otherwise it wouldn't be on a German whisper. So this could never be 4, because this is 8, and that's only 4 apart. And then the same with the next cell too, is if this was a 4, 6 and 7 are not 5 apart from it. So that can't be 4 ever. We now have a 1-2 pair, which is nice. And we'll do the same logic for this cell too. If this was 4, the only thing it can go next to is 9. So that can't be 4. 6, on the other hand, is an interesting one, because 6, going the opposite direction, can only be next to a 1. Now, for this example, that's okay, because this could be 1, and since this cell is in a different box, this could also be 1. So you could have like 6, 1, and 1, and that would be okay. If it was all in the same box, then we'd have to use a different set of rules. Okay, now what? Because this could be 6, 1, 1. This could also be 7, 1, 1, or it could be 7, 1, 2, or 7, 2, 2. That's fine. So we really don't know what this one is yet. We need a 4 somewhere in there. In this box, in box 3, we need a 4. But it's not immediately clear which. So let's try to fill in box 9. What are we missing? We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And that one's not 9 because of Sudoku. So that doesn't really help. 1, 5, 7, 9. We have a couple 6s filled in. I don't think that really helps us either. Oh, actually it does. This 6 looks up. This one looks right. These are filled in. This is a low digit. So 6 has to go in this yellow box here. And as I just explained, 6 can only go next to 1 on a German whisper. So these are now both 1s. That makes this a 2. And then I like to just keep color coordinating just to keep myself on track. So we know yellow are larger than 5 and blue is lower than 5. So I look for 4s and 6s again. This 4 would make both of these yellow cells 9, which we couldn't do because they're in the same box. So that can't be 4. We can take 1 out of that row, or sorry, that column. So now we have a 5, 7, 9 triple. So we can take 5 and 7 and quote unquote 9 out of that box. So 1 is the only digit left there. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And column 9. Now what? What are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And this 5, 7, 9 triple looks up at this 5, 7. So that has to be 4. Those can't be 4. So column 8 is missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 4, 9. So this box is 2, 8. It's getting a little crowded, but that's okay. I like to have my possibilities marked. We don't have many clues to use right now. We know this is an even digit. And we know that there's this German whisper portion here. We've pretty much used everything else, I think. Is there any Sudoku stuff? We have a lot of 3s filled in, but... Oh, here we go. This 3 looks left, this 3 looks down. This can't be 3 because it's an even cell only. This can't be 3 because it's high, so this is a 3. And so now these yellow cells can't be 6 or 7 because it needs to be 5 away from 3. So that's an 8, 9 pair. So 8 comes out of that box. This is low, this is high. If this was a 4, then these would both have to be 9s, right? And they're both looking at each other, so we can't do that. I can see this gray line peeking out. I'm assuming that's an arrow, right? Digits on arrows sum to the circle digit, but we don't know how long that arrow is or where the circle digit is or anything like that. And it's such low numbers, 1 and 2, that really these could be like anything and it would probably be okay. So I'm going to ignore that for now. Okay, what were we looking at? 3s? These 3s look over, this 3 looks down, that one's high, so now that's a 3. 3 has to go with 6, that's its only black crop key pair. So now we can sort of infer that this German whisper line is going to do that. But I don't think we know for sure that it does, right? Because this could come here and this could come here. There's nothing that's saying these need to be connected. So I'd rather not assume. Okay, let's maybe we can finish 3s right here. So that 3 looks down, this 3 looks down. This one looks over. So there's 3 somewhere there. That one looks down, that one looks down, this one looks over. It's another 3. Okay, so no, not really. These probably are connected, but I don't want to hinge on that. But once we figure those out, those are the last 3s in the whole puzzle, so that's good. 4, somewhere in the middle there. We don't have any 5s on the board yet. 6s. We know there's a 6 here. There's a 6 there. There's either a 6 here or here. But we don't know for sure. We don't have any 7s. Only a handful of 8s. Okay, here's 9. That one looks over, that one looks over. So this one's 9. Didn't really help us much. What are we missing here? 5, 7, and 8. There's definitely an 8, since this can't be an 8. Dang. It's getting a little crowded, so I would like to resolve some of these 3 and 4 digit pencil markings. This row is missing 4, 5, 7, 8. And we know that there's an 8 here, so these can't be 8. So now in this row, the only place 8 can go is right there. So now we know that's not an 8. So this is either 7 or 9. It's not immediately clear to me. Okay, we know this line at least at a minimum does that. So I'm going to look at this cell because there's a few digits sort of looking over at it, right? It can't be a 1. It could be a 2. It cannot be a 3. It could be a 4. Can't be 5, right, because it's a German whisper. It can't be 6. It could be 7 or 8. So that's a 2, 4, 7, or 8. So on the other side of it, I think this is the wrong way to go about it. If this was 8, then this would be 1 or 2. It can't be 3 because there's a 3 looking at it. If it was 7, that would also be 1 or 2. If it's 4, then it can only be 9, and it can't be 9. So that's not a 4. But if this is a 2, it could be 7. And it can't be 8 or 9. Should we go the other way? If that's a 7... Sorry, if it's an 8, it's either 3, 2, 1, and it can't be 3. If it's 7, it's also 1, 2. If it's 2, it's 7, 8, 9. That's even more possibilities. I mean, really, the German whisper is like the only clue that we haven't really used yet. Let's see what digits are up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 7. That means these are 6 and 2. That doesn't help anything, dude. We know there's a 4 there. I want to think that these are connected, but I really don't want to assume that they are. If only I had that digit uncovered somehow, we could probably figure it out. Is it just a simple Sudoku thing that I'm missing? I feel like we looked at these already. There's no 5s on the grid yet. I'm stumped. Why am I stumped? What am I not seeing? The only clues that we haven't used is the German Whisper, which we've pencil marked it. Okay, if this is 7, I'm going to get rid of all of our corner pencil markings for now. We're going to run a hypothetical. If this is 7, then this is either 1 or 2. That would mean this is also 1 or 2. And that's fine. Oh, I thought I was on to something there. If this is 2, this is 1, this is 2, that's still 7, 8, or 9. That's crazy. And then this one is 7. So I don't think it's that. Okay, the box 5, what are we missing? We need 1, 2, we have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. None of those can be 6. And this one can't be 1. It's a lot of pencil marking for nothing. 1, 2, 4, 5. Oh, this is the only position 8 can be in. None of those can be 8, and this 8 looks down at this one. So this is an 8. Okay, at least we know for sure that this German Whisper connects now. It can only be 1, 2, or 3, and it's not 3 because of Sudoku. So now we know this one is a low blue digit. The only possibility is 2. We know this one's a high digit. It's got to be 7. I'll just follow that as far as we can. Do a little cleanup here. That's a 1. That's a 2. This sees 1. This sees 2, 3, and 4. So that's a 1. This one sees 6 and 8, and then it's got a 7 in its box, so that's a 9. We'll just keep going. That can't be 3. Oh, there we go. We've got that 7 marked. That 7 goes away. We have a 4, 5 pair, so that has to be 7 now. If this was 4, then this would have to be 9, and that's already 9, so that won't work. So black crop key dot is either 1 and 2 together, or it's a 2 and a 4. And this can't be 1 or 2, so it's a 4, that's a 2. That's now 1, 1, 2, 4. Quick cleanup, and now we can look at this arrow. We have a 1, and it's being added to either another 1 or a 2. So it's not 7, it's not 5, it's not 4. It has to be 2, and that has to be another 1. We can start eliminating possibilities. This is our last high digit. It's a 7 or an 8. So hopefully that illustrates how the German Whisper looks. Okay, there has to be a 4 in one of these two cells. So that one's not a 4. Now you have a 5, 7 pair, so that one is your 4. You have a 4, 9 pair, so that's now your 1. I'm just looking around for other pairs. Here's a 5, 7. So that gives you your 4. Some other digits become individuals. One of these is a 1, and that one looks over, so that's a 1. So we've cleared all the fog. That's good. It's good. Now it's just basically a matter of doing Sudoku. So what I'll do sometimes, especially on the more complicated puzzles, we've pretty much reached the end of the German whisper line, so I'm going to get rid of the coloring there. We have all of our 1s, so I'll mark them green. We have almost all of our 2s. There's one here. One here. There's all the 2s. We can sort of resolve some of this stuff here. Yeah, and it's going to start just giving us single possibilities. So those are almost all of our pencil markings. 3s, huh? There's a 3 here, and 3 there, so now that's all of our 3s. 4. There's all the 4s done. We went from having no 5s to like almost all the 5s. There they are. It's basically just plug and play now. There's a 6. Seven's good. 8s are almost done. That's all of them. So now anything left is just 9s. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. So row 7 with no spaces. 2, 6, 5, 4, 9, 8, 7, 3, 1. And our solution code went away, and we've got some additional comments here, so. Are we supposed to assume the whisper in row 5, column 3, and row 6, column 3 are connected? These could be separate. And then the creator, and this was the concern that I had, right? Creator responded, "Hi, there's no need to assume that. If my guess is right about where you are in the puzzle, you might be able to make progress by looking at where 8 can go in row 6, which oddly enough is what we did, right? Remember, we had all those numbers plugged in, but this was the only place 8 could go, so it eventually cleared the fog. Cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the puzzles today. We'll have some more very soon, and we'll keep working our way down the list and just solving until we can't solve no more. You'll have a great day, great evening, and I'll see you guys next time.